Here we go. Welcome, everyone. It's the Mike Tech Show, show number 964. Today, I'm going to talk about the Apple iOS 26, the iPhone 17 Pro. I'm going over pros and cons, and then I put a white paper together that will be able to download what to do to protect your Zoom calls, a Zoom meeting attack. And that happened to who became a new client with me this week. And a pretty horrible meeting hack happened. But first, today's show brought to you by Instant House Call. If you need remote access, if you're an IT professional and you want remote access, then check out Instant House Call. They have an incredible deal. And just go to MikeNation.net, and the orange link keeps everything, will take you for everything you need to know to get 90% off your first year for Instant House Call. It's an incredible remote support tool that you can use for connecting to family, friends, clients. They have the unattended mode. You can have 10 concurrent sessions. You can easily transfer files back and forth. It's everything you need. Check it out, or just go directly to instanthousecall.com. Before we get started, I have to address what happened Thursday night. So just a quick commentary. I didn't do the show because my Phillies, who I am a diehard Phillies fan, were playing Game 4 against the Dodgers in L.A., and that started at 6 p.m. Then I had the Flyers' first game, and they were on the road away. That was at 7 p.m. And then, of course, my beloved Eagles were playing on Thursday Night Football, and that started at 8:15. So I figured, let me reschedule the show for Saturday. Well, it was a horrible night in Philadelphia sports as all three teams lost, and the Phillies found a way to rip my heart out of my chest cavity, throw it on the ground, and stomp on it with their cleats. So they successfully did that. And being a diehard Phillies fan, I'm always going to be following them. And then there's always next year. And it's just, it was a horrible end of the season. And they had a great, tremendous season. And it ended with a horrible error by the pitcher, but that wasn't where they lost it. The overpriced big bats did not come through again for the fourth consecutive postseason. So more about that as I'm writing up a whole analysis, and I'm going to do a different podcast dedicated to the Phillies. Look for that coming this week. The Eagles have fallen apart, and the Flyers are just too young, and they don't have the goaltending. So enough of that. Now on to the topics for today. So first, I have my iPhone 15 Pro, which is the iPhone 15 Pro. I'm ready to upgrade because I'm on a 2-year cycle with T-Mobile. So every 2 years, I'll get a new phone. Now, I have a mission-critical app that is stopping me from upgrading right now to not only iOS 26, but because that will be the default operating system on the new phone, I have to wait to make sure that this one app works. And right now, I'm getting mixed responses online. So make sure before you're going to a new phone or even upgrading to that new OS on the phone, and I would say the same with the iPad, which I did upgrade because that app isn't on there. So you got to make sure and get confirmation. And like I said, I'm getting mixed results on that. So I have to hold off until I know I can properly upgrade. The I'm also taking a look at the iPhone Air versus the 17 Pro, because the iPhone Air is half the size and the weight, and it's much thinner. And to me, it's all about the weight. But the cameras aren't as good. But I'm not a camera guy. I mean, yes, I take pictures, but I don't take professional pictures. I don't do professional video. So one of the things that I'm not, the camera doesn't mean as much to me. So when I go into the T-Mobile store, that's something when I'm ready to make that change, I'm going to feel it, touch it, compare the two, and see how it goes. So right now I'm also waiting on what's happening in that space, and are there problems with bending? Let's see. But one of the things that the first link for today's show is macrumors.com. I love this site. It's everything you need. And if you take a look at right across the top, you have iOS 26. You have everything about Mac OS Tahoe 26, iPad 26, the iPhone 17, the iPhone Air, everything you need to know, the features, everything at a glance. I love this site. It's something you absolutely want to bookmark. Now, what I want to discuss is the differences between not the differences, the pros and cons of the iPhone 17. And I put this together from different reviews and different articles. And there are notable improvements in design and performance, the camera technology, of course, the battery life increased, but it presents a few drawbacks that I want to cover. So let's hit the pros. The triple 48 megapixel camera offers obviously outstanding photographic capabilities with true optical zoom up to 4x and improved color accuracy. The new 18 megapixel center stage front camera provides flexible framing and automatic extension for group selfies, enhancing the selfie experience significantly. It's got the A19 Pro chip, and supposedly it's 34% boost in performance over its predecessor. The thermal management means less heat and throttling during intensive tasks like gaming or video editing. Or something I always experience is that initial transfer when you're loading all of your apps for the first time. Boy, it really takes its toll and starts to, really heat up when I first do that conversion from one iPhone to the other. It's working hard. The battery life is extended. They claimed 4 more hours compared to the iPhone 15 Pro. Let me tell you, I've never, ever get the amount of hours that they claim. So I always have to have a separate device or something to charge. Like, here's a case that Taz introduced me to a couple years ago. And this is an extended battery case that I add. And of course, once I get the new phone, I'm going to have to buy another one of these. This is for my 15. So then design changes, rounded edges, a mix of aluminum and glass make the phone more comfortable to hold and less prone to wobbling when placed flat, as well as less reflective on the display. Cutting-edge pro video features, including 4K, 120 frames per second, Dolby Vision recording, cinema-grade stabilization, and advanced color formats. That's impressive if you're doing that. I'm not, so that stuff doesn't appeal to me. Certainly videographers. Now here's something. Bluetooth 6 support brings enhanced connectivity features over previous models, which may be important for pairing multiple devices. Yes, we want to see the Bluetooth keep increasing. Here are the cons. Despite the camera upgrades, the telephoto lens is not considered a dramatic improvement over previous models, offering only incremental advances in zoom and image clarity. That's interesting. The software experience with iOS 26 introduces design changes, but isn't necessarily more intuitive or user-friendly, which could be disappointing if you're upgrading to that. While the battery is larger, real-world battery life may be marginally better for some users versus the previous generation, which I predict all the time. You know, they make very bold claims on the battery usage. You know, but that's not going to stop me from upgrading. But yes, premium pricing remains a significant barrier, especially considering that some upgrades are only incremental over the last year's device and not revolutionary. So they just improved the cameras, really. The new charging standard requires a proprietary 40-watt adapter. Keep that in mind for maximum speed, meaning additional cost for users waiting or wanting a faster charge. See, now your chargers have to be updated. Even though it'll still work, it just will take longer to charge. The design, and this is an interesting review, while more utilitarian, I'm butchering that, may not appeal to all users, especially those who preferred the classic titanium and glass look of previous Pro models. I think that's going to push me to the iPhone Air. Some new features such as center stage selfie camera address minor convenience focused issues rather than major innovation. So the big complaints here are they're not meeting the claims of the battery. You may not like the feel and design look, and it's not revolutionary, the difference. And you're marginally faster. So if you're one of the ones who fully outright owns your phone, and if you own the 16, may not be compelling to go to the 17. Me, because I'm a 15 and I'm already where I own it now and I can easily trade it in with T-Mobile, I'm probably going to go to the latest and greatest only because of what I do, because of my consulting where I need to recommend things to clients. I need to be able to talk about it on the air for this show. So I'm in a different position. But if I was going to lay out hard-earned money and not take advantage of the leasing of it within your payments within your phone carrier, then think twice about it. It may not be the revolutionary change that you want. So let's go into what I put together, a PDF that is for a Zoom meeting attack. And I received a call from a client where her friend had a lot of people going over a trauma-based lecture on Zoom. And let's just say 2 hacks happened on 2 users where the sessions, let's just say, they produced adult content in those windows, causing a major disruption to the meeting, which they closed down. And I've been in talks with the host of that, going over and making sure the following. And I put together a PDF describing what to do, and I'm going to review that right now, and you're going to be able to download it for your whatever you want to do with it. So if a Zoom call is hacked, such as unauthorized disruptions, and they call that Zoom bombing, or a suspected breach, respond quickly to protect participants and secure your data. And there's an immediate response steps that you should take. Now, this didn't happen, and that's why I'm putting this together for, this in advance. Start recording the session to preserve evidence of the incident, including any threats or harassment. A lot of people don't think of that. And when you're attacked like that in a Zoom meeting, that's not going to be your first response. But I wanted to get that into everybody's head. And if you're ever training someone or teaching someone, or start recording it. You want to get evidence, just in case it's we're talking any kind of criminal activity here, or something to where you may actually want to prosecute. Remain calm and talk over disruptive content, clarifying to meeting attendees that the behavior is unsanctioned. Remove the disruptive participant using your host controls, and if necessary, pause or end the meeting briefly to reconfigure security settings. Report the incident directly to Zoom's trust and safety team using their online reporting form to assist with further investigation. They're the things that I helped the client. Now, account and data protection. So important. Change your Zoom account password immediately, ensuring it is unique and strong. I would also make sure that the person changed their email password, just in case that's where the breach came from. Always, immediately, and this is any breach no matter what it is, whether it's Zoom or not, and I've talked about this all the time. You change the passwords. That's the first thing. And then enable two-factor authentication for your Zoom account and any related services. You should have two-factor authentication not only on Zoom, but also your email. If meeting links and passwords were publicly posted, reset those credentials and distribute new invites through secure channels. Monitor your Zoom and email accounts for unauthorized activity, and reset passwords for any other accounts that may use similar credentials. So I'm just, hammering it in here. Here is to remove disruptive participant. This is what you do. To remove a disruptive participant during a meeting, such as Zoom or Teams, open the participant list, find the disruptive individual, and use the in-meeting controls, often represented by 3 dots next to their name, to remove them from the session immediately. As I'm reading this that I put together, I'm thinking, and what Taz, Mike Cooley, does as the moderator for the chat room that's live, and that's what he's looking for, someone who's disruptive, who comes into the chat, and he's there to do this exactly, to terminate their session. Let's see. This action will eject them from the meeting and typically prevent them from rejoining, especially if you have enabled settings like allow removed participants to rejoin. Make sure that is set to off. So here's things that I'm laying out that you can do ahead of a Zoom meeting just to be proactive. And this is also, I think, good to review with clients that have lots of Zoom meetings, just to secure their meetings and make sure that there is no problem. Steps for quick removal: locate the participant list, and then I have bulleted points here to remove and eject the person, and then optionally use features such as muting microphones, disabling chat, or suspending participant activities while identifying and removing the disruptor. And this is particularly in Zoom. Prevention for future meetings. Enable waiting rooms. I don't do that. That's something I'm going to start to do now. Enable waiting rooms and use meeting passwords to limit access to trusted participants. Avoid posting meeting links or passwords on public forums or websites. Familiarize hosts and co-hosts with security controls, such as muting and removing participants and locking meetings once all invited members have joined. So something I recommend, and it's something I practice with the Mike Tech Show. I have moderators where, years ago, it was more prominent where we would have disruptions. And so we needed, I needed moderators to keep an eye on things and keep things clean and friendly and, get rid of the disruptive individuals. Well, I recommend this. If you host big Zoom meetings on a regular basis, make sure you have another employee or someone else that's there kind of as the moderator or administrator so you can concentrate on your content and someone else is keeping an eye on all the things. That's why I needed that, because I need to focus on my content and delivering the show, but not on security. I keep a little eye to it on the off to the left on one of my monitors, but that's why you need the help of some friends or someone else. Familiarize hosts I did with update Zoom to the latest version. This is important because Zoom's always patching, and I know Teams, and I do that with OBS now. I'm at the latest, greatest version finally. What you need to do is keep updating and patching the software that you use. It's just in case there's a vulnerability that they've patched, and it's one less thing to worry about. So if by following all of these practical steps helps mitigate the impact of a Zoom hack and reinforces meeting security going forward. So what I am going to do right now is I want to paste the link for in the chat room. I'm pasting the link for this article right now, so this way you don't have to wait for me to post it up. Let's see. There we go. And that's the link to the PDF. All right. I have one email that I want to read, and this is from the listener, Karen, who's in Florida, who's been having problems with the Windows 10 update. So give a listen to this and email me suggestions. I'm continuing to battle with updating a Windows 10 Professional Surface Pro to the latest Windows 10 updates. Thank you so much for the recommendation of Tree Size. It found 2 virtual machines that did not show up in File Explorer, so I removed those, and now I have 60 gigs free. However, I still cannot get the downloaded update to install. One thing I did notice is that there are 2 downloads of the same version, 21H2. You want to be 24H2 and go directly to 24H2. Karen, are you going directly to the Windows Windows Upgrade Assistant? And actually, I think the Upgrade Assistant will actually take you to 25H2 now. Last week's site, I have a download. I want you to download that and use that as an upgrade, not a link. So let's see what's happening. The second she lists the 2 updates. The second one, last failed install update on 10/27/2022. When I Googled this error code, it looks like the update from 3 years ago. Karen, do you know it just dawned on me? I have your answer. And when I'm done the show, I am going to email you the link to a show. It just dawned on me, but it was Windows 11 where I had this problem. You, in a group policy, can force the exact Windows 10 update that's needed to work. I had this same problem, but within Windows 11, and I was stuck at 22H2 and couldn't get to 24H2. I didn't understand. And when I solved it, I did a show the very next Thursday night. I want you to try that hack, which is going into your group policy, and there's certain places where first you got to turn it on, and then you got to put Windows 10. I put Windows 11, you put Windows 10 in the operating system, and then the version you put 24H2. So, and this is on the Windows 10. I know I said Windows 11 25H2. You want to go to 24H2 Windows 10. And so when you pick the Windows 10 download Windows Assistant, it should do the latest Windows 10. So that's one, and I don't know if that's what you're doing. I'm going to go back now. When I Google the exact error she gets, when I Googled the error code, it looks like this update from 3 years ago was not able to be installed properly due to disk space. Okay. So I'm guessing this is why when I tried to update this computer recently, it downloaded a new file. That's possible. Do I need to somehow delete the older download? Yes. And there's a way to clean out your downloads to reset updates. And you definitely want to Google that. When I tried this thus far from this page, getting help with Windows upgrade and installation errors on the Microsoft website. Make sure that your device has enough space. Run Windows Update a few times. Do a repair of the Windows Update, and that cleans out some of those files that are lingering in the update directory. I forget its exact name, but there's a whole process for that, for cleaning it up. Repair hard drive errors, and she did. So a couple things here. One, I want you to try that group policy hack, just in case that fixes it. Make sure you're using the Windows for the proper Windows 10 upgrade assistant. That's 2. Make sure to reset everything, for the update. And then, I know this is crazy. Why not just back everything up and do a fresh, clean install of the latest, greatest Windows 10? Make a USB media stick of Windows 10, pop it in, and do the update. Or, since I have a Surface Pro that can't go to remember, I did a show, actually last week, using Rufus to do 25H2. Why not just install Windows 11 with the bypass and go to Windows 11 and do it from scratch? You have to do it from a boot to do the update. So I think you got a bunch of things to do rather than keep chasing this error. I would like you to go beyond that and try a few other things. And then certainly please let me know if any of these work and then which one worked. And I will pass that on to everybody. But you got a few things to try, and I would do that, and keep me posted. Okay, that is it for today's show. I want to thank everybody for downloading and staying subscribed. Please visit MikeNation.net. And of course, try Instant House Call for remote access and then to help support the show. And I want to thank everybody who's been donating. Thank you so much for supporting the show. There's a PayPal donation link. and it helps keep the lights on. It helps keep me broadcasting live. So I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. That is it. Hopefully back to the regular Thursday night schedule, especially since the Phillies are eliminated now. So October was always tough because of the Phillies playoff schedule. And if they were, playing on Thursday nights, well, I don't have to worry about that anymore. So that's it. Thank you. Bye-bye.